Very good morning, children. So I'm here with the next topic of our chapter, data handling, and it is bar graph. And this topic is one of the most important of the whole chapter. So I believe all of you will be very attentive while watching this video. So without further delay, let's see what we have here. Bar graph. I'm giving you a simple definition of a bar graph. A bar graph is a way to represent data graphically by using rectangular bars. So, to understand this in even more simple terms, whenever we are talking about bar graph or say these rectangular bars as mentioned in the definition, you can always refer to the bar that we use that we eat as a chocolate, right? In Kit Kat or any other chocolate bar one, so many other Nestle, so many. I mean, you will be knowing more lot than me, right? Even though I'm quite a fan of chocolates. So anyways, so our bar, they look like this. Yes, sometimes you will see three-dimensional ones, but most of the time when we are drawing, we simply use the two-dimensional ones or say plain figures. Okay, next, these bars are uniform in height but vary in height or length. Well, this is something really important that we have to keep in mind whenever we are drawing a bar graph. So I'll try to draw the bar graph, but take this for granted that I'm not using any scale or pencil or anything as such that I would have done on a blackboard. Therefore my lines or my diagram is not going to be straight at all. I do know that. Okay, so anyways, let's give a try. So first of all, when you are drawing a bar graph, you need two axes. This is going to be your x, another one is going to be your y, right? This is the horizontal one and this is the vertical one. Then whatever data you want to represent through these bars, you need to put them in equal intervals. Okay, so whatever these gaps are here, they need to be equal. Yes, and one more thing, this particular point of interaction of both x and y axis are considered as 0, and from here you need to leave equal space as you are providing in these bars. If it is 1 centimeter in your scale, you provide 1 centimeter wide here, or if you want more, you can always do that, or even less, but it just has to be equal. After that, you can place your just give me a minute. Yeah, after that you can place your bars as the way you want. Suppose you want to represent the data of your marks of your maths. Say you are getting 50 out of 60. So suppose this is the marking for marks and it is 50 here. Then you will start your bar graph right from the 0 point or say the x-axis, and you will stop the moment you reach the mark 50. As I have said, my diagrams are not going to be straight at all, and this is how we are going to draw a bar. For another subject, say this is for maths, for another subject, say English, if you are getting more than 50, then you have to start from here and you have to go a little beyond 50 as your marks are there. And remember one thing, the gap between these bars need to be equal. So if you don't make equal, or if you don't provide equal gaps within the bars, then your whole bar graph is wrong. Okay, so always keep that in mind. And yes, one more thing, whenever you are drawing your bar graph, always use a sharp pencil and a ruler and draw it properly. Okay, be very attentive with full concentration. You are supposed to draw your graphs, be it any graph. For the time being, you're dealing with bar graphs, so consider it to be very important. Next, I'm going to show you how a proper bar graph looks like. This is an image of a bar graph, a proper bar graph, the accurate one. Okay, let me expand this. Yeah. Alright, so this bar graph represents the total marks obtained by 6 students out of 600. Now, first and foremost thing, notice the x-axis here and the y-axis. Okay, and the gap here, as you can see, are all what? Equal, right? The width of the bar graphs are, the bars are equal, as well as the gap between these bars are also equal. So this is something really important. The width of anything, be it the bar or say the gap, need to be equal, but the height and length may vary. Yes, and as you can see, scale has been given. So scale here represents 100 marks for 1 unit. Okay, so I hope this will help you, or it will encourage you in drawing a proper bar graph. Next, drawing double bar graph. So why do we need to draw a double bar graph, right? For this, or to understand it better, let's take the help of the situation given here. I'm going to read it out for you. Consider the following two collections of data giving the average daily hours of sunshine in two cities, Aberdeen and Margate, for all the 12 months of the year. These cities are near the South Pole and hence have only a few hours of sunshine each day. So, two tables have been given here for both the cities, representing the number of hours of sunshine and for the respective months. Now, if we don't know how to draw a double bar graph, we will end up drawing two bar graphs separately, which is equally time consuming, as well as we have to put more of our effort, right? But if we know how to draw a double bar graph, it will ease up our effort as well as it will limit our time. Moreover, we will be able to get all the necessary information required by us from one particular graph, right? So let's see how a double bar graph may look like. So this is an image of a double bar graph where x-axis represents the months, whereas y-axis represents the number of hours of sunshine. Now, if you have noticed properly, two bars are there for each of the months, which doesn't have any gap in between them, and their widths are equal, as well as these months are also distributed equally. Okay, so the white bar represents the temperature, or say the hours for Margate, while the gray bar represents the time for Aberdeen. And if you have noticed, 0 is present right at the point of interaction of the x and y axis, followed by 2, 4, 6 and 8, which are the number of hours, and they have also been placed equally, or say in equal gaps. Now, this is something that I want to add along with this. If you want your bar graph to be even more precise than this one, then what we can do is, you can put the smaller margins within these gaps. For example, now this particular margin here represents 1 hour, as well as this represents 3, right? So if you want your data to be even more accurate, then you can put the smaller margins here in between. Okay, that's completely your choice, but I think it will be fruitful to you. So I believe double bar graph is clear to you, as well as its requirement is also clear to you. And one more thing, you can see the scale here. 1 unit represents 1 hour of sunshine. It is particularly given for y-axis, but we can also represent the scale for the x-axis, right? So if you have any doubt after watching this video, please feel free to ask. And for today, I want all of you to draw a double bar graph using the same data as given here for these two cities. Okay, the reason being, it becomes quite easy for you, for anybody to keep observing a picture and understanding, but when we draw it, there comes our queries or doubts. So if you don't draw a bar graph, or say a double bar graph, you won't be able to know what are the problems you might have or you might face. Yes, so all of you have to draw a double bar graph from the data given in this particular video. Say this slide, let me go back to that. Yes, this one, and click a picture and send it to me like you always do with your homework. I'm going to check it properly, and then I'm going to tell you all your queries, or say if you have drawn correctly, then it's well good enough. Yes, so that's all for today's class. Again, if you have any doubt, please feel free to ask. Okay, and I'm not going to give you any further homework, only the double bar graph for this particular data. So that's all, class. Thank you.